Come on, now we are live, right? Hey, YouTube, Facebook, welcome to the Deek Parassini live show. This is a show which we do basically for the benefit of the world at the end. So this show on Saturday is organized by Management Wonders. You can see their logo on top. So they are the one who have decided to organize, and they have picked the topic personal and professional emotions. It's a very complicated topic, but I love emotions, right? So this will be more revolving around that. So it's best to come on my YouTube and Facebook to see it much more visually. You can see all the other people. We have, Ma'am Girija, Ma'am Swati, Reventh, and then Lavanya and Karthik. Everyone is also going to be a part of this show. So before I do it, guys, come on YouTube and Facebook. If you want to ask any questions, you can ask in the comments column, and we will pick up the questions. We have Ahmed saying hello, Mahalakshmi saying hi. So whatever questions you have, come on YouTube, ask your questions specifically on personal and professional emotions. How do you versus it? How do you compare it? What is it all about? It'll be more driven by the Management Wonders team. They have 4-5 people who have joined together. So let them introduce themselves, and I will hand it over to Karthik, who's the lead man of the show. So Karthik, go ahead. Shoot.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's session. My name is Karthik, founder of Management Wonders. Management Wonders is a newly startup organization with a mission to help over 30 million plus college students, academicians, and researchers from different fields across globally to build their careers. In this pandemic situation also, Management Wonders takes an initiation part and conduct lot of workshops, conferences, training sessions, and webinars for the betterment of students, academicians, and researcher welfare. As a part of these welfare programs, today we have an interactive session with Deek Parassini, a positive influencer speaker, on a topic personal emotions versus professional emotions, with a clear agenda of how to convert negativity in both personal and professional emotions into positivity. With our today keynote speaker, I honor to welcome Girija, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce and Management Student Studies, MPMMSN Trust College, and I am heartfully welcoming Lavanya, Assistant Technical Officer, Panchayati Department. And also, I am welcoming Swati, a one of our key member of Management Wonders. With that, I am also heartfully welcoming Reventh, senior consultant of Capgemini. If, if viewers have any questions during this session, please type them into the comment box. I will bring them up during this session, and we will also have time to question and answer session at the end. Now, without any future delay, I am handovering to today keynote speaker Deek Parassini.
Okay, perfect. Thanks a lot, Karthik. That was quite a nice overview of what we're going to do today. As you know, I'm more driven on question answers. I'm a person who believes that every human have 4 or 5 doubts in life, and they're just revolving around to get those answers. If they get that answer, 99% of their problems which they're facing will be figured out. So what they need to do is much more better to find those solutions rather than going outside and moving on for various shortcuts or various quick answers for life at the end. So the topic which Karthik and his team, Management Wonders, chose was personal and professional emotions. Now, let me go a quick overview of what I think about it, like so that everyone has an overview of my way of thinking of this. Let's split professional and personal out of this and keep just emotions first. Because if you have a good understanding of emotions, then we'll understand if you have a very good understanding of emotions, then you'll have a very clear idea of what actually is professional and personal, right? So from me, emotions is basically a fluctuation of mind, which means emotions don't stay in the heart. Emotion normally stays emotion normally stays in the mind and not in the heart. So if you technically see it, if everything is
చెల్లి నేను
revolved
కొంచెం
around the
వీడియో
mind.
కాన్ఫరెన్స్ లో ఉన్నాను మాట్లాడతా.
Oops, what was that? Okay, I think it. Okay. So let me just mute everyone here so that the flow is there, right? Yeah. So what happens there is it's all revolving around the mind. So what is this fluctuation of mind? Fluctuations of mind is, some people say, happiness, and the opposite of happiness is sadness. So happiness also can be considered as emotion, and sadness is also considered as emotion. For example, this is all just examples. I'm going to give you an overview of how you go to slightly see emotions from a different perspective. Now, when you say emotions, happiness and sadness, you differentiate and tend to say that happiness is good and sadness is bad. That's human nature, right? You always want to prove something, that something is good and something is bad. But then when you're really, really happy, you end up crying, and you have that sad emotion again going on, where tears also come out. When you really have that genuine love or genuine feeling, that is also one way, if you really look at it, positive. Now, emotion is a fluctuation. Now, why do emotional fluctuation happen? My understanding, talking to various people, my understanding of talking to various students, teachers, I've done sessions for all age groups. I've done for 5th grade students to 60-year-old group of ladies, totally talking about positivity. From that point, if you really look at it, what I understand from emotion normally comes when you expect something from the another person or situation or God or your boss or your family or whatever it is. Somewhere around there is an expectation which you are wanting to come to the way which you want. And when that doesn't happen according to what you want, you have that negative emotions. But then whatever happens based on what you want, it becomes positive. So whatever expectation goes in sync according to your wish, it's positive. If it doesn't happen your wish, it is negative. That is how we differentiate emotions. What I have understood is how to control this emotion. Next question. Before I go to professional and personal, how to control these emotions? Controlling of emotions is all about reducing that expectation. Reducing that expectation means, why does a person become sad? Something didn't happen according to their will, according to the plan, it didn't happen, you feel sad. But then my question is, if you don't expect something from someone, can actually someone control your emotions? I do all my sessions free of charge. I do all my talks completely, purely as giving back to the community. If that is my attitude, can you control me? Right now we have speakers, we have 11 people on YouTube, we have another 11 people, and numbers will go up and down. For me, if there is one person live listening to my talk, I am going to talk. That is what I believe in. For me, it doesn't matter 10, 20, 100, 200. I am going to keep talking until there is one person who's listening. Can you control my emotions? No. But on the other hand, if I start thinking, hey, is Management Wonders team liking my show? Is Karthik happy with what I am doing? Am I meeting their expectation or not? If I am driven by that, it spoils my performance. It reduces my performance. Obviously, it won't go well. And then obviously he will start controlling me. Later after the show, he'll say, oh, this was not expected. And then I build up a negative expectation, and that begins to hit me. Then I start doubting myself, and then it goes on. I don't expect anything, or I don't want anything in return to what I'm doing right now. My simple question is, can you control my emotions? No. Right? Whatever you try, you call me a bad word, I'm going to smile. But if you give me a genuine feedback, I will listen. But then if you're calling me a bad word just for the sake of the bad word, I will just smile. Right? Can you control me? No. If you call me a bad word, I'll say, oh, it sounds so nice. I never heard such good bad words ever from your mouth. From where you learned this? Tell me more about it. Whatever you have bad words in your stock, finish it with me only, so that you are happy, I am also happy. I'm not here to take anyone's garbage. And when you're not taking anyone's garbage, your emotion is completely in control. Different ways people take different emotions unnecessarily. Some people use that emotional touch. Oh, I am your mother, you have to do this. I am your best friend, you have to do that. I never expected this from you. You have a husband and wife relationship again going on. Expectation and expectation. You're expecting from your boss, you're expecting from God, you're expecting from various other situations in life. And when you don't get that expected thing, you have this fluctuation of emotions. And that is what people actually call emotions. What I do is I try my best to make concepts of English language so simple that you can understand the core essence of emotions. So whenever you're feeling sad, full stop, find out, what am I doing wrong? Or what am I expecting from this world? And stop expecting from that world. Slowly, 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 you will have complete control of your emotions. I hope that point of emotion is clear, Karthik and team. It's good? Okay. Now let me step into the professional and personal emotions, right? Now the best part I really like about it is I don't understand why people differentiate personal and professional. Because at the end of the day, it is your life. If it is your life, the whole life, professional or personal, is personal only. Don't try to differentiate it as a personal life and a professional life. That is a mistake what you do. Both are interlinked. Both are your life. Professional life is needed to run your personal life. Personal life is needed to support your professional life. If there's a problem in your personal life, your professional life will go and fall apart. If you don't do well in your professional life, you can't support your personal life. So stop differentiating from professional life and personal life. Bring it as one. It is my life. One part I'm working, other part I'm not getting paid for it. So personal life is things what you don't get paid for, but you do it because you are a part of the system and you love doing it. Professional life is something what pays you for doing it. At the end of the day, both are paying you in some way or the other. One is paying you financially, one is giving you satisfaction, one is giving you love, one is giving you attention, one is giving you shoutings, one is giving you money, one is giving you status, one is giving you different names for certain roles, directors, managers, children, students, and it goes on, right? So that's what you're going to understand. First, stop differentiating this and see it is my life. Let it be professional or let it be personal. I'm no more differentiating it. I need both and I am a part of both. And that being part of both is my own life. So your question should be, how do I manage emotions, right? Rather than professional versus personal. Now, you guys want to ask me any question, or do I go on talking? Because I'll just go on talking until people stop me and ask me questions. So guys, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. You can ask me any question between birth and death, because I don't know what happened before your death and before your birth, right? So I have no idea what happened there. So I don't want to talk about it, but don't ask me about it also. You can ask me anything between that, because that is where everyone have the true answers. Before life and after life, I don't think anyone can give you a clear answer, because no one has experienced it, right? If you don't have experienced it, you need to use that spiritual way of going things, which I try my best not to include in any of my conversation, because when you take that step, it can get confusing, and different people have different systems, and each system has a different answer, and it goes on that way. Why I'm telling you to ask me questions is different person will have a different type of question, and each different type of question will have a different answer, right? If Karthik asks me a question, my answer will be different. If Swati asks me a question, my answer is going to be different, right? So I answer based on what is the actual intention of people asking me this question. So that's what I go about, right? So don't ask me one question, how I'm answering this question. Everything else you can ask, right? That's what I believe in. So Karthik, questions, or do I go talking? I gave you a summary. I hope you have an understanding of what I'm actually meaning to say. So here, once someone says you are right, Claps are coming in. See, people are very happy with the show anyway. So go ahead. What Karthik, you have any question, or do I keep talking? I can go on talking. I have no issues. Go on talking, or you have a question.
Well, sir, I have a question.
Okay. Okay.
Like,
I'll come back to your question. Let's give first priority management wonders, and then we will start picking up different questions. Yeah. Go ahead.
yes, sir. Like, we in our daily life we have a routine kind of stress levels and pressures and some extra etc emotions with us,
Yeah.
and like by overcoming those kind of things we will compromise our daily routines sometimes,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So how at that moment we kill our routine life?
Yeah.
So is it is correct, sir?
Okay, so what he's asking is about routine life. First of all, guys, if you have a routine life with long term, your life is going to get boring, right? Is it not? Then you basically you become a robot and you keep going on and going on. Then finally you understand what is the value in my life. If life doesn't hit you with changes, your growth also doesn't happen. Always remember that life only hits you for your growth or for your learning experiences. So let that routine change, because if you're, see, for example, if you keep doing the same thing again and again, your results are going to be again same thing again and again, right? So when you say routine, I'm telling you your life is not going to grow because you're doing the same thing again and again. It's only when you do something different, which means I'm waking up at 8 a.m. in the morning. How can I make it 7:45? How can I make it 7:30? After next year, how can I make it 6 o'clock? After 2 years, how can I make it 5:30? So it's not a routine life. What I believe in and what I tell everyone, the best way of managing any routine in life or any similar thing in life, what you need to do is that go project oriented. Project oriented in the sense means what is the most important thing which I have to do right now. Keep doing that most important thing right now until you go to sleep. Problem is solved. Right? Why problem is solved? Different times you will be needed at different places, you will be needed at different roles, you will be needed at a different kind of experiences. So how can you follow a routine? Because if you follow a routine, something new relationship needs you in some place, you will go off beat, you will go off guard, and then you will say, oh, why is my life so bad? So first thing, when you wake up, what is the most important thing? Some people go brush their teeth, which is most important, right? Some people go, you will never break that, right? But then after that, okay, what's the next most important thing? Is it my health? Or is it my baby crying right now? Oh, my baby's crying right now. Oh, forget everything. Let me do that baby crying and fix that first. Sometimes you wake up, if you're a husband and wife, obviously when you wake up, you go and hug your spouse, right? But then you want, that's the routine. You early wake up, you say good morning, you give a hug, and you wake up. But my question here is that what if the baby is crying? You have to take care of the baby first, and you deal with the baby first. Let the crying stop. Then you go help your go give a hug to your spouse, right? So what you got to understand is you should have that flexibility of project oriented approach, not controlling time. Many people try to control time. Control time is a constant thing, it keeps ticking. Don't try to control time, rather try to go project. You can control projects, which means, okay, for example, for students, let me give you an example for students, right? You have 5 chapters to complete in 1 week. So what you do there, first chapter Saturday, like first chapter, second day, let's say 5 days, 5 chapters. Chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, and chapter 5. So first you go, wake up early in the morning, try to finish this chapter 1, only then I'm going to sleep. That's your general plan. I'll only finish chapter 1, then I go to sleep. I only finish chapter 2, I'll only go to sleep. After chapter 3, I'll go to sleep. Chapter 1, first day, chapter 1 got over. Second day, your mother suddenly fell sick, or your mother told you, let's go for a marriage party. It is very important for this marriage party because many people are going to see you. There'll be girls and boys all watching you, so you need to come for that. It is very important for marriage. Typical parents will obviously tell you to come for marriage, that reason, right? So you have to go for this. So my point is, what I would say is that, okay, you have this chapter, go for the party, enjoy the party, have a nice time on the party. Next day, do 2 chapters. You're not here in the routine. You're already broken your routine, right? So what happens? 2 chapters I'm going to finish on the 3rd day, 4th 1 chapter, or 5th 1 chapter. Now, some people have good capacity of managing stuffs much more well. Last day, do 5 chapters, but make sure you do it correctly if you can do it. Right? So different people have a different set of routines. Different people have a different capacity. Different people have a different approach towards life. As that differs, your schedule also will keep differing based on the situations which is coming. So what happens? You will happily go for the party and next day you'll be so focused in your studies. But what do most people do? Oh, I have scheduled this, mama. I can't come for the party. And your mom will be angry. Why you're not coming for the party? What is this studies? Forget all the studies. How much you read? This party is more important. They will keep telling you that. Half the time they're going to put negativity and they'll go for the party. Then slowly, when you're studying, once in a while look social media. Social media people all go live of your party. Everyone is enjoying big time. Again, you're looking at the book and studying. Half the time thinking about the party. Instead of studying 100%, you're only going to study 20%. So what happens there? You're not studying actually the second day, thinking it half the time. Your mother, father's not there. So you'll be interested in doing something else. Your complete performance is destroyed there. And 3rd day, again, you're in the same situation, starting with the 2nd chapter and the 3rd chapter. So what you need to do is that different roles have a different meaning or a different timing. When you give that priority first, based on whatever roles comes, then it starts being positive. Did I answer your question, Karthik? What you're looking for?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect.
And one more thing.
Yes.
In our routine, means in our daily things was been done. Like if we are a professionals, like we have a carrying lot of emotions from our day starting to day ending.
Yeah.
Means like we have a work stress, we have some kind of pressure, some kind of tensions, kind of thing.
Hold on. Let me talk about this. You have directly told about work stress, right? Let's talk about that. My first question is, why do you have work stress? Right? Because everyone is saying that. See, the problem which I don't like in this world is people have taken this stress, depression, anger, all a part of this human life. When you're an adult, you need stress. Then only you're adult. I really don't understand what is that concept behind that. You are born as a baby. A baby have no stress, no depression, no frustration, no anger. He's one of the most positive guys. God and universe have given you that beautiful birth as a human. If God and universe have given you that birth as a human, why are you being an adult and changing and bringing all this stress unnecessarily? That is the first point you got to understand. Everyone, you are not born as a stressed person. You're not born as a depressed person. If you are stressed, there is something which you're not doing right in your life, which the life or universe or God is trying to make you understand. As long as you don't understand that, your stress is going to keep repeating, and later the stress will move into a disease, the stress will move to a handache, that stress will slowly start assuming that you have mental issues, then you think that you're depressed. All this builds up, and with this stress you build up anger, and that anger is showed to your children's, and children's also get your stress, and the whole big cycle starts going on. And then you will think, why is my life so stressed? So the first question you got to ask is, the first word Karthik used was work stress. Now, when you focus on the salary which the person is paying you, most of your stress will reduce automatically. When you sit with this self-respect, when you sit with this, how come they are doing this to me? When you sit, this is unfair. When you sit thinking that, world is cheating me or misusing me or overtiming me or, utilizing my capacity to the max, whatever way, that is when work stress starts coming in. What I tell people, when you get a salary, the salary includes your boss shouting at you, your colleagues playing politics, your the company's policies, HR policies, various other policies also building up more stress onto you. Accept that, right? You have a tough boss. Your concept should be how to learn how to manage the tough boss, rather than sitting in that stress saying that, oh, I am that weak person, I need sympathy, it's being very stressful in the work. I'll tell you something. When you truly love what you're doing, I'm telling you, there won't be any stress. You'll keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. Is it not? Most of the people, right? So what happens in stress, you got to understand here is most of the stress is only when you start doing things which you don't like. Like, for example, you're going for a party and the whole day you have your best people around you, your most favorite people around you. I'm telling you, you will not have any stress. You will be completely exhausted, right? Now, for example, when you watch your most favorite movie, I'm telling you, you will not have any stress. But then you're watching your company presentation or profile, you'll slowly start dozing off and you'll build up, oh yeah, this is too much of content, I can't take it. So what you need to understand here is stress is generally coming because you have some unplanned things in your life. When you're unplanned of things in your life, automatically, one is the expectation side of things, right? You're expecting this way, they should respect me in certain way, this is how it should be, this is not unfair. What I tell people is your salary is inclusive of all of this. Now, some people say, I'm not ready to accept this. Then go find some other job. Start applying for various other people. No one is saying is that if some of your boss is disrespecting you, instead of countering him, it's best to leave to some other organization or start applying to some other organization and start trying your best to see if there's any other opportunities, rather than hear your boss's scrap or hear your boss's stuff and build up the stress, right? So what you need to do is that, my simple question, like most of the stress people get from their boss, as long as he's paying you, as long as he's not crossing the limit, which means having a physical contact with you, just smile or play his game. Playing his game means, okay, he's shouting at you. If he just take it easy, let him shout, right? Now, for example, if a mental guy comes and shouts at you, what do? You just smile and you leave it, right? So same way, when your bosses are doing something like that, think he's mental and move on. I'm getting my salary. That is most important, because salary is what gives me that thing. Other reason for stress, right? I'm talking all about stress because I think that's really driven by, because that's the first word Karthik used. So that's why I'm talking about stress, and many people are revolving around that. Now, the other reason for stress is negativity, which you take from the media or the exposure, what you get into, right? For example, you're watching, okay, let's do it this way. Let's keep it work related. You're opening the news, right? In the news, it says after the COVID situations, right? In the news, it says after the COVID situation, many people are losing jobs, right? So when you read this news, oh, people are losing job. Oh, will my company take me out? Oh, will I lose my job? So when you start building up with these negative newses, you tend to relate to yourself that this is going to happen to me also. And when you tend to believe that this is also going to happen to me, chances are that it will happen to you. Because God or universe, you never know when the prayers will be listened or when the prayers will be accepted by whichever God you believe in, right? So how is that stress coming in? You're taking, like, let's say example, now the biggest stress for everyone is COVID situation. The COVID has happened. It is so much of stress and all that thing, right? My question is 90, not 90, don't take it 90, that's too much. Maybe 70% of the people who are in this COVID news, I'm sure they're tracking the numbers on a daily basis, looking at numbers, how much is going to happen, what is going to happen, what the future is going to be, what is happening in US, what is happening in China, what is happening in various other worlds. Keep getting COVID news. The more I say COVID, your mind will also think that COVID. And when your mind is weak, technically your body gets weak, and technically COVID have more chances of hitting you rather than anything else. So what you need to do is that, okay, now people ask me, without information, without the news, how can you live world? See for 1 hour, see for 15 minutes what is happening in my society, what is happening in my city. That's all you need to know. What is happening in US, what is happening in China have nothing to do with you, right? That is how you throw away unnecessary stress which you take from the world. Now, there are some parents, there are some kids which I have seen other reasons for stress. There's many reasons for stress. I'm just giving you a summary. And I know when I give that summary, whoever wants is listening to me will get the answers which they're looking for. The other reason for stress is you take in negativity from people, right? For example, you go to work. You go to work, one person will come to you, tell them, your boss is not good at all. There are chances he might throw you out. You might take that into your system. And with you taking in that system, that is how you're going to respond with the boss. And when that respond to the boss is going to feel he's going to hit you back. And you tend to build up that stress also. So there's many reasons why, for example, a simple reason for under stress. If you break the law, you will be stressful. Full stop. If you break any law, you will be stressful. Like a robber is always stressful that he'll be caught by the police. So go and do the good things in life, you won't get caught. If you tell a lie, you will be stressful. Right? So go and tell the truth. But don't tell every time, go and tell the truth. That's the negative side of things. I always tell the people, tell the truth. If you can't tell the truth, twist the truth. Or keep quiet, but never tell a lie. You're always safe. Follow this principle when you know the truth concept, right? When you start doing that, again, that stress will move on, right? So there's many reasons. I think these are some of the reasons why the work stress starts coming in. Now, you're talking about work stress. Most of the work stress is also driven from the family, right? If you're not happy with your family, when the work stress also increases, then it becomes very, very stressful life. If you're having a very loving, very, very controlled or very positive kind of a family system within you, automatically that's work stress is a very small thing, because once you go back to the positive family, it balances out and you just calm down. So when you have stress here and when you have stress on both places is when you say I have a stressful life. So that's why I said professional and personal is your life. If one is strong, the other will subside. If the other one is strong, the other will have its control. Karthik, did I answer on stress? I think I talked a lot about stress, right? So if you have anything which I'm saying, if you want to counter it, feel free to counter me also, right? Don't just take it as a one-sided answer. If there's something which you think that I'm not making sense, it doesn't add value, counter me. Because only if you counter, if there's any other doubts, I can further clarify it. Because my thing is, meet me once, clear all your doubts and forget me. That's what I tell everyone, right? So that's my main objective. So go ahead, Karthik, or anyone else. Any questions on the floor? Let's keep it revolving around emotions, work, professional, personal, and whatever it is. Right?
Sir?
Any questions? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead,
Can I
shoot.
ask?
Who started? Swati?
Sir, can I ask? Yes, sir.
Feel
Sir,
free,
as you
just
are
shoot
talking,
and ask.
yes, sir. As you are talking about the stress and all, like this, really, this stress can affect our emotions, like personal or professional. The stress can really affect our emotions, sir.
Yes. So what happens is stress will. So for example, let's make it very simple. Your hand is aching. Okay. If your hand is aching, you have seen sometimes very, very old ladies or old grandparents, they are shouting for no good reason. They'll just shout for just like that. They just get angry for small things. Have you ever noticed that? That is this overbuild of stress, right? That is this over. Now, for example, your hand is hurting. Someone cracks a joke with you, you will show with all the anger back to them, right? What happens in stress is that it unknowingly, it builds a pressure into your senses, it builds a pressure into your family, and then you suppress it, and you suppress it, and bang on, one day you're going to blast all the anger out, right? Stress has to be managed, or you have to improve your capacity so that you supersede your stress. Don't leave stress. The biggest problem, that's what, see, the Swati's question itself says that I'm ready to live a stressful life, right? You're accepting. Don't accept stress, right? Reject the stress. Okay, this is getting stressful. What's the problem? Like sometimes I get stressful with my baby, right? He's 2-year-old. I'm still figuring it out. But sometimes he builds up stress. Then I said, okay, what did I do wrong here? Like, can I do some improvisations here? Can I make some changes to how I'm dealing with him? Can I move my timings of the show differently? Can I, chat with people with the various issues on a different time? Can I do it when he's sleeping? But when he's awake, I'm there for him. My stress of my child is completely moved out. Don't take stress for granted. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't think that it is a part of me. As a baby, you are never stressed, right? So yeah. So I hope I've answered the question, Swati.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
So, like, talking about the stress and all,
Yeah.
can we, like, how can we control or manage our emotions or stress? Like all these, how can we control our emotions at workplace, so like in professional things and all? How can we control our emotions? Because we can control our emotions with our family ones or loved ones and all, but we cannot control our emotions in our workplace and all. So, how can we control the stress or emotions at the workplace?
Okay, so basically you're differentiating family and outsiders, right? So when you differentiate people, you have a different kind of expectation and a certain way you expect them to respond to you, right? For me, whoever I talk to who's not married, I see as my sister. Who's married, I see as my mother. Let me be my boss, I see as my father. If he's married, if he's younger, I see as my son. Not son, brother, sorry, as brother. So when you start seeing everyone equal, then what happens there is, this is at a very next level, right? What happens there is, whatever they tell you is not going to affect you. For example, your father shouts at you. Oh, he's my father. It's okay for him to shout at me, and I will accept the fact. But when a boss shouts at you, how dare he shouts at me? You bring this great self-respect on top. You know, self-respect is the most negative word. Many people talk about self-respect. For me, I found in self-respect is this ego which you build up about yourself, and that certain people have to treat me in a certain way. What if the person is not treating you in that certain way? I feel offended, right? And when you feel this offended feeling, you think that it is injustice. And when this injustice comes into your heart, you want to revolt. Hey, he's a crazy guy, man. Let him do whatever he wants. When you think that you're sitting on top of an elephant, when you're thinking you're sitting on top of an elephant, dog beneath will always bark at you. Dogs beneath will always bark at you. Why you're giving your attention to the dogs? You are sitting on top of the elephant. Know your value. If someone calls you a dog, you don't become a dog. But then you have this self-respect of the human being concept. When someone calls you a dog, you feel bad about it. Right? So am I answering your question, or I got diverted somewhere else?
No, sir, you are answering.
Okay.
Because I've separated the personal life different and professional
That
life
is where
different,
the
no?
problem
So
is,
you're
right?
answering
So
correct.
my salary is inclusive of my boss shouting me. You're happy with your salary. You're not happy with your boss? Okay, let me see if there is any other better bosses who can support me in a much more better sense. Your objective should be there, than retaliating, than challenging, then playing politics. Then now politics is a different ball game in work. If you're in a part of an organization which plays politics, you also have to play politics. Many people tell there's a lot of politics in this world. My simple question: if there's politics, you have to play politics, or is the politics is going to kick you out? Right? When a fight is going, you won't say that, oh, I'm not all into this fight. The bomb will come and hit you. So make sure you know to differentiate which battles I need to fight and which battles I got to stay away from. Right? So what you need to do is that, okay, what's my focus? Right? Your focus deviates. When you're focused onto this body or who you are, people will manipulate with your emotions because you're expecting something from someone. When my focus is the salary, when my focus is that others don't have a job, at least I have a job. When my focus is with this money, I can build up my dream. With this money, I can take care of my family. With this money, I can, whatever your boss says, have nothing to do with you. Let him shout, let him scream, let him dance, let him do whatever he wants. I will do my work in the best possible way. I have a job description and I'm going to follow that. And that's what I'm getting paid for. I will never do any injustice there. At the end of the day, I told you previously also, when you leave this world, whoever sent you to this world will only ask you one question. Were you a good employee? Were you a good daughter? Were you a good son? Were you a good mother? Were you a good grandfather? If your answer is yes to it, everything is all good. Did I answer the question or do I deviate somewhere else?
No, sir, you answered my question.
Okay, fine. As long as I answer, sometimes, I talk on various topics, but sometimes I don't know if I'm answering a question also, right? Because sometimes I talk things which might not be useful to you, but somewhere else who's listening to this might need them, right? So that's why mostly I will be talking on that. Go ahead, more questions? Or no, my job is done. Ta-da-ta-ta. That's what I love doing. No
Hello, Deek sir.
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
Sir, am I audible?
Yes.
Sir, it's a great pleasure to be part of this program. As
Pleasure.
I've been hearing from the discussion, it's the discussion what we have till now. It's all about. It suggests me that it's all about taking things and acting according to the situations, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's all about how we assume things and take the things to our mind or heart.
Not
Similarly, I've been working.
Yeah. Go ahead. What I say is don't assume things. I'm not hearing.
Yes, sir.
I'm never. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, okay, sir, sure. Means I have started my professional career since 3 years back. Till then, I'm a student, and now I have entered into a new world where I'm facing many challenges. And even I'm new to a relationship. So while being shifting to these two different roles, I think I'm doing justice to one and I'm not doing justice to another.
No, when you say relationship, you're married.
Both are very important to me.
You're married.
Yeah, sir. I'm married.
Okay.
Yes, I'm married, and I think when I'm giving more time to my professional career,
Okay.
I'm not doing justice to my loved ones. And if I'm thinking them, I'm not doing justice to my professional career. These kind of ambiguities keep on rolling in my mind.
Okay. So my
How
question
should I manage the both?
You have child or you don't have a child?
No, sir. I'm just married 1 year back.
You're just married. What job do you do?
I'm an assistant executive engineer in state government, Panchayat Raj department.
Okay. So basically, what's your work timing?
Means a civil engineer.
What's your work timing generally? Your work timings.
Generally, we do construct roads, buildings in rural.
Your work timing. Your work timing. From what
there
time
are
to
no
what
particular
time?
timings we need to.
Okay. So there's no specific timing whenever the need requires. Her network is weak. I think her network is down. Oh, that was a very good question. I think, ma'am, your network is slightly down due to, I don't know if it's your network. I think it's your network only. My understanding is she's breaking. Is it only me or, Swati, even you have the problem?
No, sir. Yes, sir. I have a problem of hearing. She's not audible, sir.
She's not audible.
Your voice is audible,
Yeah.
but she's not audible.
I think it's the network. That was a very good question. I would love to answer it, but I need to understand the essence behind the question, right? That's why I'm asking for. Oh, she went off. Oh God. Okay, so we'll just wait until Lavanya comes back. Any other questions with that regards?
Sir, as she was telling that some kind of a problem, like she feel demotivated at that some of a point of time. For suppose if we feel demotivated for a particular thing, how we have to overcome that and how we have to do things and we have to motivate ourselves.
Okay, so whenever you see, demotivation normally happens when you don't have a clear idea of why you're doing what you're doing, right? When you don't have a clear idea of why you're doing what you're doing, you'll be demotivated, right? So demotivation in the sense, which means, for example, let's take, I really don't know, I think Lavanya is back, but still I will just talk until her network gets fine. So for example, she's saying that the balance of life, right? Work-life balance. Right? When you say this work-life balance, that's what she's trying to say. When I give interest in profession, my personal life messes up. When I give my personal life, my other life messes up. So first, what I tell people is that yeah, Lavanya, I got it. I think who's that noise coming from? Okay, so it's just okay. It's all muted, right? So what you got to understand here is let's make it very simple. If you have a very clear idea of what this life is all about, people always say about work and life balance. Everyone have a very clear idea of what the work is. But when you go to life, people don't have that much idea or what life is all about. Because for some people, life might be going home, relaxing and watching TV, going home and chilling. Right? If that is the life which you're looking for, chances are that, because if you get lazy in the process, the chances are that life balance will never come. But on the other hand, if you say my life balance is all about giving quality time for my children, or giving quality time for my husband, or giving quality time my in-laws or my mother, father, when that is your focus, you're focusing on, chances are that you will be driven to get more energy flowed into it. Because right now what you're doing, oh, I have a lot of work, no time for my family. I have a lot of work, no time for my family. It is stressful. The point here is I have work. What other time do I have where I can give my 100 commitment to my family? Which means no more friends. Right? You're talking on a situation where you have no time. Today onwards, I'm going to stop talking with any of the family members. I'm only going to talk to people, my husband, my in-laws, and my mother. They are the most priority for me, and that is my focus. No more parties. Right? Let me figure out my relationship first, who's most dear. No more company parties. It's a choice. You can go or you don't go. It doesn't make any difference. Festivals, no work, completely focused on my family. When you start giving that time, your husband, your family members will start praying that, oh, she's doing so much for us. God help her. Then God will find ways to find shortening the other life. When you don't have a clear differentiation between what your life is all about, when that is not clear, your work pressure will start loading. There was a similar question asked by one of the hotel. I gave a session for one of the hotels in Bangalore. In that, the guy asked, I have a lot of work and I can't give justice to my family because they always tend to work and they always work during holidays, right? Hotels work during holiday times. So when they have Diwali, when the world is celebrating Diwali, they work. When it's New Year, the hotels, when they'll never, first of New Year, hotels are completely jam-packed. They never get leave. You know what is the answer I gave to them? Why your family have to celebrate New Year on 1st. Let your celebration of New Year be 5th January. No one says that you have to celebrate January 1st only. It is a created thing. So, when you want to celebrate it, it is your family, 5 to 10, not 5 to 6 people is there in your family. Our New Year is 5th of January. When you start doing that, the ball starts revolving around your life. Now, the other thing is, some people tell that is that my kid's birthday, right? Or my husband's birthday, or my in-law's birthday. I have worked that day. I know many dads or many mothers who run after their office because that day is the child's birthday. If I tell people, if you can transfer that birthday and tell your child or tell your husband, let's celebrate the birthday on the next Sunday from early morning till evening. I'm going to give full time to you. Let's go out. Let's do that. Let's plan out. 99% of the children will say, Mama, come on Sunday. Let's have a rocking time. Rather than, no, I want you to come today only, celebrate today only. Children won't say that because they know they're only going to get 2 or 3 hours maximum. When you tell your problems to your family members in such a way that they understand that, and you talk in such a way that you're giving priority to them, the importance in the conversation should be you giving priority to them. For example, you have your wedding anniversary. You have work suddenly popped up. You talk to your husband. See, this work has suddenly picked up. We both know that this job is important for both of us, for our family. Is there any way we can move our wedding anniversary on a Sunday, which is guaranteed leave for me, which is guaranteed leave for you? Let's go out, have a rocking time and come back. So basically what you're doing is you're shifting. That's what, back to Karthik's question. I'm telling you to break your schedules, break your celebrations. It's not Diwali, it's not, no one says that. What is celebration? Celebration is when a group of people come together, have a nice time. That is celebration. It doesn't mean that it should never be attached to a certain date. It should never be attached to a certain festivals. You can always change it. At the end of the day, most of the festivals are related to certain religion or certain gods. God is happy when your family is happy. It's not that day you have to celebrate to make God's happy. I hope I've indirectly answered Lavanya's question. And Swati, indirectly I've answered you. I see you smiling once
Yes,
again. That gives me an idea that you're getting the answers which I'm looking for, right? So
yes,
what
I
you
got
need
many valid points from you.
Okay, perfect. All thanks to God. So what you need to do is that get flexible, right? When you start being flexible, you will control things rather than bonding with a certain system, right? Many people struggle to get up early in the morning, right? My simple question, yeah, if you can wake up early in the morning, wake up. If you can't do, sit late and finish the stuff. There is no problem. No. My friend is waking at 5 o'clock. I also want to wake up at 5 o'clock. Yeah, why are you going into this battle? Right? So stop comparing your life with someone else. When Lavanya says that she's not giving justice to the other side of things, she's somewhere comparing her life to someone else also. So what you have to ask is, go and ask your husband, is my work okay for you? Is my commitment which I'm giving to you okay for you? If your husband is happy, don't build up unnecessary stress again to be that great wife which you expect should be. Many people have this this fantasy, many people have this fantasied roles, which means a mother should be like this, a father should be like this, a wife should be like this. Stop that. There is no dream wife or dream husband. You are best at what you can be. If you start doing that, things will begin to change, right? And when you start doing, I'm doing my best. That's it. Now, if you have a problem, you talk to your husband, ask him, is there any issues having over here? Let's have an open conversation. Because open conversation is what actually makes a difference, right? And that open conversation comes in, the thing will start revolving. Now, for example, I've told this before when Swati and Karthik was online with me. We had another 1 hour session testing the show. Suddenly went into a session, right? So the other thing what you got to understand is when you're sitting around the dining table, when your husband and your wife is sitting on front of the dining table, what do you discuss? What is happening COVID? What is happening in your office? What is happening? You talk about the world news. Stop talking about the world news and talk about your news. Let the mother's news be heard. Let the father's news be heard. Let the children's news be heard, so that the discussion should be family news and not the world news. And when each and every person starts opening up from that point of view, the truth will come out. And when the truth is out, all the stress will step aside, because you know what action I have to take next. Right? So I hope I've answered that question further in detail of whatever you're looking for. Be the best wife you can be. Ask your husband, do I meet your expectations, or is there any way we can change our plan? When you are married, it is no more me and you. It is us. Every decision which you take is our decision. Every decision which I take is our decision. Every decision which the husband and wife takes, it's our decision at the end of the day. It's not mine and yours. If you see mine and yours, everything goes mine and yours, my job versus your job, my stuff versus your stuff, and it keeps on going. Right? I hope I've answered that question. Lavanya, doubt is clear 100% now? Or any slight botheration, let me know and clear it out, right? Go ahead. More question?
Yeah. Hi, Deek.
Yeah.
Yeah. From my end, I'm having a couple of questions actually. So
go ahead. Sure.
I'm representing from the software field. So mostly what I'm observing the software field is, like, let us take.
Oh, what happened there?
MNC company. So what I'm observing mostly over there is we have to stress, like we are doing most of the time is like a double shift of duty, like 12 hours to 13 hours continuous on the project deliverables and like this. So when we are trying to do the work stress and work handling the deliverables and everything, like for this prolonged time, due to this, it's getting impacting on our personal life, like our parents or our family members will be try to spend some time with a quality time, but as we are unable to provide such time, and they are expecting that we have to, why you guys are not providing the time for us to have a quality discussion with your interaction, chit chat and everything. That is what their expectation. But due to our work stress and work activities and everything, that is impacting us to not providing that time with them. And coming to the weekends also, sometimes we might have the work and everything, and this is what's happening. So how to balance this, and how can we make organize the
got the question. So what you need to do there is, first thing I always tell people is that you need to have an open conversation and find out what is the actual expectation from your family. We will always say that, okay, parents want to have chit chat and that. First thing you got to tell them, mama or dad or whoever your family members, your loved ones are. First thing is, have an open conversation. I work in a software job. They pay me a decent salary. When they are paying me this decent salary, I have to work 16 hours in a day. It is because I have this work, I have that respect, and you people feel proud of me having that work. I know I can't give that much of time for you, but obviously I am trying to work on a promotion. Obviously I am trying to build up my career, and with time, once I figure out stuff, I can give you more time towards you. But then let me know when you really need me. Whenever you find my job is of less importance for you, let me know. I will see how I can ask permission from the organization to support you, rather than just saying you're not giving time. The discussion, the funniest part of the discussion is, you're not giving time, you're not giving time, this is not right. All the discussion goes there. No one goes to the next set of discussions, which is, this is my truth. This is the son you created. You wanted me to go to IT. I went to IT. This is the IT life. If you want me to make this decent salary, this is the job. You want more time, I will reduce my salary. I'll go for a lower job. I will sit, relax. I'll give you all the time. That time I say, no, beta, go and work. Right? So what you're doing is you are keeping the stuff within yourself. Share your problems to your family members. Let them listen to the struggles which you're doing. Make sure you tell the truth. There are many sons who tend to say, oh, too much stress, I don't have that. Don't go to that level of things, because your parents will feel if you're telling truth or not. So what you need to do is have that open conversation. And when you have that open conversation, they will listen and they will know your truth. And then ask them, okay, now tell me what you want me to do. Work, or you want this chit chat time? Okay, chit chat time, how many hours do you need? Okay, 1 hour. Okay, I'll plan out all of these things. Let's, like 9 o'clock, I have some half an hour time. I'm going to completely switch off my mobile. I'm going to give 100 half an hour, which is completely for our family chit chat time. They will put a tick in the box. Oh, my son chit chats. Right? So, and Sunday, the next question is, they will say, no, every day you have to go out. Right? Some parents will put you pressure. Every day you have to go out because child is there and all that. So when you say every day when you go out, I say, see, I have this work. I'm doing for 16 hours. I come out with a lot of stress. Don't you think I need to take that break? Sunday, whole day I will come out with you. So at least understand what my problems are, and let's have a positive ending rather than each other complaining. I have my work, you are not giving time. I have my work, you have my. Have that open conversation. And when you have that open conversation, the value is understood by both parties. And when both parties' values are understood, the truth will come out. And when the truth is out, it's easy to decide. Right now, what? Both are sitting in their own life complaining each other. And when you start complaining each other, what happens? At the end, both will lose. Both will feel injustice to both that relationship. Both will start blaming each other for not being there. Slowly, that stress will bring up a disease or headache or health or sugar or cholesterol. All this will come. When that positive balance is not there, the body will hit, the life will hit. That time, all the things will start fixing out with time. Did I answer the question? Reventh?
Yes, Deek. And one more thing is, it might be a bit comparatively similar question itself only, but what I'm observing is, if the two, let us take the husband and wife, if both are the techie professionals and everything, so mostly, and they will be, when they're, and in the software profession, mostly they have to be mostly have to dedicate on the working things and everything. So what we are observing is, most of the time, as they are also spending most of the, both husband and wife, on their project deliverables and what are their work related commitments. But sometimes when they're looking back, they're thinking like what they are getting in their life. They're getting just only the work, but they're not enjoying the actual essence of life. Because I'm seeing mainly that they're getting, sometimes they're getting disappointment. Hey, is this the life what we're leading of? Just for only for the getting the perks and everything, is it not the life, right? So how these guys can get rid of that and just try to understand and feel the essence of life?
See, first of all, if money is the drive, whatever you tell people, they will go after that only. The only way the money drive will only reduce when you have the other aspects, which is most important. When I say other aspects, what I normally say is what I believe, to have a positive life, you need 5 aspects in balance, which is relationship, education, health, finance, and love. These are the 5 things which has to be equally balanced. If any of these things are not equally balanced, with time, you will have some emotional or whatever, or health or whatever issue. So there is many people who's dying to make money. After they make all the money, they have no relationship to share that money. That money has no value. There are many rich people who have married 4-5 times. It is not life. There are many people who have great body, fit body, but no, job to work. Right? There are many people who have a lot of education, gold medalists and that, but don't have a decent job. Right? So what is your value? It all starts with relationship first. Now you'll ask me how I came with this concept. Right? It is taught from life only. It's nothing spiritual about it. It's about life. When you wake up, when you grow, and when you're born in this world, you don't have money, you don't have health. You just have your mother, father. So relationship first. Then you go to school. Education comes in. 9th, 10th grade, you say that you tend to take decision about my food, which food I need to eat, which food I need to work, and that starts building up. Then only you start getting job, which is finance. Right? And when you get this finance, automatically what happens is you get married, the love starts coming in, loving God, and all that concept starts coming in at the end of the day. If you put money first, everything else will fall apart. So the point here is what is most important. Some people go after education, some people go after health, some people go after relationship also, society also comes. Some people go after money only. So if you're only going for one thing, there are chances it will be hit also for that one other 3 things which you didn't give priorities to. So there is 2 things here. One, life is going to teach them with time. And then if that is not understood, next other thing would be, something crisis might happen and they will give focus on that. Many people, like I have a lot of IT kids I talk to, this is Saturday, right? Before I used to have sessions every Saturday with IT people, right? And all my sessions, it's organized by a guy called Vivek. So he brings out IT people to clear doubts, similar like you people, right? So it was IT discussion. So what I've noticed that is they are in a flow. And especially in metropolitan city, they are in complete flow, which means, I'll tell you how the beautiful flow goes in IT life. Wake up early in the morning, directly go quick. Everyone is busy. Quickly want to reach office on time, because why they're on time? Because they are getting paid. That's why they're on time, or else they're never on time. So directly they go, they work, they work on that time, and they work, build up all this stress, because on a longer time, they always dreamt they want to work for 8 hours, but generally they work for 10 hours. They're getting a good salary, which they forget, right? But then they work for 16 hours. They build up the stress. Now you have to remove the stress. Instead of removing the stress, they go to a disco, they go for entertainment, they go for alcohol, they go for various other things. On a longer run, they're not reducing their stress, they're suppressing their stress. When you tend to suppress the stress, you overload yourself, your physical body and your mental body. You most heard people hearing headphones of music. You know why people hear music on headphones with very loud voice? Because they're so stressed about their life. They want to hear that music and completely detach from that stress. On a longer run, what happens? The stress builds up. One health will hit you, then you will start thinking about it. Or you'll have some mental issue, or some girl will have a breakup with you, then everything will pop out in a different way. So the point here is that it is not the IT system. It is your going in that, what people say is the rat race. You put that circle and the rat starts running. You're just running. You don't know why you're running. If you ask me, IT, why are you doing the job? Oh, I'm doing. I'm a data analyst. I'm just doing. Why? No, I'm just doing. No, why? No, I'm just doing. They go from that point of view. As I told before to Swati also, when you don't know why you're doing what you're doing, other people will control your life. So first thing is know why you're doing what you're doing and take it from there, right? So I hope I've answered. Guys, Instagram, please don't talk among yourself. I don't want to build up new relationship talking among yourself. But anyways, as long as you find safe, go ahead and talk about it. Because sometimes now I've seen people talking internally a lot. But anyways, as long as you're discussing with regards to positivity, feel free. Don't build up another relationship in my group and start hooking around with girls or boys, right? I don't want that to happen. Go ahead. Did I answer the question?
Sir, and yeah. And one more thing.
Yeah.
Like we've seen some students are suicide, taking some kind of suicide attempts due to they didn't reach for the parent
Yeah.
expectations. Most of the students are taking this kind of wrong step in their
Yeah.
career and spoiling their career. What is the main reason for doing this
Okay. Very
kind of
good
thing?
question. Okay. So it all revolves around depression. It all revolves around. So let me tell you the process of how I understand how suicide happens. Right? Suicide, I always tell people, is like holding on to fire. You're holding on to fire. It's burning your hand, but you say, no, no, no. I like the orange color. Oh, I like the flame. It's so visually so nice to me. You hold it's burning you. It'll slowly burn you, burn you, burn you. Slowly after burning, it'll get to your mind. That is when you say, I am getting depressed. I'm a person who believes that depression doesn't exist. I've talked to thousands of kids. First statement they say, I am depressed. Right? And I talk. Finally, they say, hey, is there depression exist? They end up saying no. What has happened right now, this word called suicide, it's like same, initially Swati and Karthik was speaking about stress, right? It is a standard. When you stress only, it is the way to go, right? So basically I've proved it is not that way. Same way now trend is suicide, right? When nothing is happening, okay, let me just get out of this world, right? Now why this is happening, right? Why this is happening is many reasons. Holding on to fire, which means when you hold on to things which you're not supposed to hold on to, and when you still hold it, it burns you to your mind first. After it gets mind, you have a lot of free time. You overthink and go on. And after all this overthinking, what happens next is that your thinking is so powerful that it compresses your heart. It compresses your heart means it suffocates your heart. So once it suffocates your heart will say, what the heck are you doing? You want to live your life or die? Heart will say, I want to beat and I want to feel free. I want calmness. I want love. Your mind is not giving me. Let me just leave this world and go. And that is one of the reason as to why the suicide normally happens, and that is the actual process of suicide in general. Now you told me the example of a student, expectation, parents, and all that. Many reasons. One is children don't tell the complete truth to their parents. They only study 80% and they go and tell their parents, I'm going to get 100. That is the biggest mistake most of the children do. Over promising of what you can do. When you over promise of what you can do, there are chances that you will fall apart. But then, let me rewind a little bit. When a child is born, right now what's happening is it's a nuclear family. You have one son or two sons maximum. The mother, father will try their best to give them everything what they want. Beta, you want this? I have money, you buy. Beta, you want this? I will do anything for you. Beta, you want that? I will give that. Finally, this beta is going to go to the teacher and ask for extra marks. Teacher won't give it. How is that possible? I am done with my life. If this is too much, they got. Suddenly, they get one day, they think that they are worthless. The world is not treating me fair. I am useless. They have showed me my uselessness. Because parents have put so much of that ego into the kid's head that when one failure happens, he can't take it. For example, nowadays, if you see, you have only one child, right? Some parents have one child. The child falls, you have to see the mother going and hugging. Oh, beta, what happened? Why you fell? Well, this was not good. You are my son. I love you so much. With that attitude, when a child goes into work and the boss directly shouts for his falling, how this is possible? I never heard this. I think I'm useless, hopeless, because mother have put that fantasy stuffs about the kid's life, and this builds up. And the best way is that I can't face the world. Since I can't face the world, let me just get out of this world. That's one reason. How is the fast rewinding of life? But after that, you build up with that attitude. your parents have a certain expectation. Mostly, generally, the expectation is compared by someone else. Always remember something: a winner and a loser only comes when there's two people. It only if there is comparison, there is a winning and losing. If there is no comparison, everyone is a winner. So what you got to see is that think you're always sitting in an island all alone. Let the world do whatever it is. My objective is growth. When you focus on growth, the things will begin to change. Now the next reason is the media puts in a lot of suicide. Now Sushant has suicided or whatever. Still, people are always confused of what has actually happened. My wife 2 months ago, when Sushant had this issue, she asked me what's going to happen. I said this is going to be the most negative death I've ever seen, and you will see all the negativity coming out with time because that's what is going to happen. So what I can tell here is I always, many kids have told me, like directly, I have talked to kids who are sitting in front of the railway station, going to jump. Your hands will shiver talking to kids like that, literally going to jump. Suddenly, they come across my ad and they just want to send a message to me. And then the chatting happens and literally all thanks to God, managed to get her out. But the point here is suicide is that microsecond where you think that you're not worth for this world because somewhere around you have a certain level of expectation what you wanted to be for the world, and when you don't meet that expectation, the world further hits you down again. And the person knows that if I go in front of this world, the world is anyways going to hit me. Why don't I hit myself and leave this world? Now, what kids don't understand is when you suicide, it is not you who's dying. You technically kill the whole family also, because the community is also going to kill that family indirectly for that suicide death. When most of the kids are told about that, then they back out from suicide, right? But then that's the other side of things. When you go and meet your friend, hey, why do you look so depressed today? What is wrong with you? Why do you look always sad? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? What is happening in the mind? I am wrong. I am wrong. I am wrong. Then why I should be right in this world? Let me leave this world. There's many. Now break up. Boyfriend, girlfriend, which is the trend right now. Break up. People will go and go ahead and do it. And the other problem is that now Sushant Singh's death, for example, media is every second statement or paragraph will have the word suicide. Suicide is being so much hit on kids' head that they think that suicide is the best way because Sushant did it, then why I can't do it? Right? Because people see celebrities as the way to learn about life, but people don't understand how messed up celebrities' lives are. The truth will come out. I'm just waiting for the real truth to come out because you have no idea who you're idolizing is, what their real lifestyle is. We tend to compare only one part of the life and not their whole part of the life. If you want to be a Salman Khan, don't see his fame and be Salman Khan. Be ready to stay single and be ready to, whatever, Katrina can leave you or kill a couple of animals and do it. And then you can be a Salman Khan. But what people do, Salman Khan's fame, I want that fame, but I can't stay single. And then you feel depressed and then you go on and go on and go on. I hope I've given you various angles of why kids suicide. I hope I've answered the question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And one more thing, sir. Like this kind means the students will get the expectation due to means like most of the parents compare the student talent means their child talent with the other personalities and
Yes.
imposing those kind of things on the children means
Yes.
you want to become like this, like that, like this, like that. So
Yes.
this kind of pressure the student think, okay, I want to make means I want to do this kind of thing, and they are going to that kind of position.
Yeah.
That's why they are putting some kind of goals and objectives. So this is also one kind of thing what regularly happen to the students to taking the kind of suicide kind of thing happen?
See, you can't see, the thing is, you can't blame parents completely also, right? It happens from both sides at the end of the day. Somewhere around, the kids don't clearly tell parents what is the actual problem. They go, I know so many kids who take antidepressant, their parents don't know, and they're taking it because a friend has recommended it. I know many kids who's taking sleeping pills, and the parents have no idea that the sleeping pills is being taken, right? So the point here is there is so many things unknown to people. The true reason of suicide is only known to the person who suicided. Get this point very clear. The true reason for suicide is only known to the person who suicided. Every other story is assumption. So you might tell that the kid died because of the marks. Might not be true. The kid had a breakup, and the breakup she couldn't adjust. On top of it, the marks got very low. She feels worthless, the boy left. She feels worthless, the marks didn't come. And that could be the reason for suicide. You can link it to education, but maybe it's something else. Only the person who suicides can come and tell us the truth. Right? So you are saying that it is parents' pressure putting onto it. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's one harassment which the kid gone through in her childhood, where her uncle maybe harassed her or molested, whatever. Something negative to the kid, she's building up, and this marks also popped up, and holy cow, let me just leave this world. The world is injustice to me. I'm going to leave this world. So you telling a pinpoint saying that parents are putting pressure on me, that is why all these kids are suiciding, it is not the complete truth. It's only when you talk to the girl, you will really understand what that complete truth is. After the death, people make stories. Why people make stories? To justify their life. Right? So parents' pressure it's the hottest topic. Media will come. Oh, the kid suicided because of the mark results came out, and this is all the parents' pressure, which all these things have happened. So how is this fair? You have to reduce the marks. They need something to talk. And you tend to believe that is the real truth. And when you tend to believe that is the real truth, you also assume that it is what is actually happening, right? So what you don't understand is we can say the reason for suicide is this and this and that, but the true reason for suicide can be completely something else, right? Now, the other thing about suicide, always remember one thing. God or universe or whatever you believe in, have a way how you're going to leave this world. Suicide is just one way of it. Let that soul leave this world in that way of things, and let them live in peace, rather than you holding and pulling back why they suicided, how it happened. He's gone. Be thankful that person was a part of this society for such a long time, and be happy and remember him as a good person, than building up all this stuff, all that things, and then working it from that point of view. So what I'm trying to tell you is that the true reason for suicide is only known by the person, right? And it's not even by parents, right? So that's one point. The other thing is, stop blaming parents of this pressure they're putting it, because 90% of the kids are also playing around in life. If you're 90% of the kids are playing around in life, parents have no other means to put pressure onto the kids. That's a different thing that they over expect from kids. But one thing I always tell, how much marks the parents got, maximum 10 marks more the child can get. That's one thing I tell parents. What is your marks? This is your standard. That is the standard of growth your kid is also going to get. So that is how they have to think. But then if you send the kids to the right teachers, right gurus, right mentors, they can flip around also, because they're not getting your exposure, they're getting their exposure. So that which you can flip the children's. But then keeping the children within your thing, everything my way, and then you expect the child to do wonders, it's not going to work out. So what I tell parents, one thing is, if you're an engineer, let your child have an engineer's experience. And if you want your child to be a doctor, I'm guaranteeing you he can never compete with a child whose father is a doctor, mother is a doctor, and he's going to be a doctor. Your marks should always be 10% lower because what he have listened is only engineering, and not doctor. But on the other hand, the child hears only doctor. It's much more easier. How I see things is, if there is a doctor family and his child is doing doctorate, and if there's a business family and that child is doing a doctorate, both their marks ends up 80. I would say the child who is an engineer family or a business family is much more higher than the child who's of a doctor's family who has done doctorate. I hope you understand that huge difference, right? Always remember, it's your growth. How are you growing? How's my child growing? Oh, better than me, you're all successful. People always ask me, what's the definition of success? Success is growing from yesterday to today. If you're growing from yesterday to today in the 5 aspects of life, relationship, education, health, finance, and love, everyone in the world is successful. But then if you compare yourself with someone else who has no meaning to yourself, then you're trying to be like someone else. And when you try to be like someone else, you be a copycat. When you copycat, you start getting stressed because you want to be the best copycat you can. And you are always a copycat, and that itself will give you stress. But then, how can I be the best Karthik which I can be? I'm telling you, no one is in competition here. Right? And when you think from that point of view, how I can be the best Karthik which I can be, you're on your own. It's your growth. Karthik wakes up at 7. When can Karthik make it 6:45? When can Karthik make it 6? And then work that growth up slowly. With 10 years time, Karthik will be standing at a level, and then he look, oh my God, where did I reach? I never expected I would go this fast, because you're so focused on Karthik and his growth and not some other random guy who's sitting somewhere else and trying to see that one life, which means he's getting 90, I'm getting 80. I have my loving parents, but he has his parents who's beating him every day to get that 90. So which life do you want? You already have a great life. Start growing in that life. And that is what that positivity is all about. Doubt clear?
And yes, sir. And with today's speakers, Girija ma'am is there, sir.
Yeah.
She is an women's cell head also.
Okay.
And ma'am want to ask you some questions.
Go ahead. Yes, ma'am.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Yes, go ahead, ma'am.
Sir, I am from Kerala.
I am also from Kerala. It's good to know.
Where, sir?
From Kannur originally.
Kannur.
Yeah.
I am from Palakkad, Ottapalam.
Okay, Ottapalam. I've done a session in Ottapalam. I have my uncle's daughter married there. It's Vidya. I forgot the name. Narayan something. I forgot. Narayan Niketa. I forgot the name of the guy. I've done a session there in Ottapalam. Yeah, go ahead, ma'am.
Okay. I am working in a college as an assistant professor in commerce.
Yep.
Shornur SN College for last 10 years.
So you're doing it at SN College?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great.
I think
okay, great.
So my not a question, it's a doubt, sir.
Yeah.
So if we take it into a graph of our relationship, personal values or relationship, there shows a decreasing trend. That is, today's children are not much valuing the relationships.
Okay.
That is, if you met a person today, after 1 month or 2 months, he said, get out. And another person, the life is going that manner. That is the main reason for this. Otherwise, we are in a virtual relationship. That is WhatsApp, Facebook. We are not much valuing the real value of our relationship, mentally or physically.
Agreed. So the reason for it. Okay, so let me give you my reason. Let me give you my reason for it. It all starts from childhood also, there also. Because nowadays what has happened is both mother, father is working. So technically, when their young married life, which people get into, they're so busy working, they don't have technically time for their children. It actually starts there. For example, most of the mothers and fathers, they tend to hand over their children to their grandparents. They tend to hand over their children to a maid. They tend to hand over their children to an iPad or a laptop so that parents can have their relaxing time once they come back from work. So what is happening is I know many kids, when I go outside, I go running after my child, and most of the other parents hand over a laptop or an iPad, and the kid is exposed to social media or that concept of mobile at a very early age, due to which they tend to see that is the way to communicate, which means every communication the kid which they're getting through electronics. So they assume, their mind is built up in such a way that I get more entertainment through electronics rather than real life humans. Because why? Parents, the system is so busy. For example, many people tell me, I can't open up in front of my parents. My first question is that why is a child who can't open up in front of the parents? They're the first person a child should open up to. But no, I can open up with my friends, my parents I can't. My question here is that why is that gap where parents can't be or there for a parent's questioning? Because they have used some other means to get the answers when the child actually wanted the answer. Always remember one thing, every child, when they have a doubt, they will ask their parents first. If you really note one thing, when a child does something wrong at a very early age, they will look at your parents once to see if I can do it or not. But if the parents is busy that time, when my parents is busy, I can go do something wrong. Right? So they wait an expectation for you to get busy to go and do something wrong. So what is happening here is that we ourselves is putting kids into various social media interactions at a very early age where they find satisfaction through that medium, which they think that in future that is the way to go. But with age or as we grow older, IT things won't satisfy your true essence. You need your children's or you need your family members to support you. When you don't do that, the cycle comes back. Many people tell me this question also. This can hurt a lot of people when I say this statement. It can really make a lot of people feel bad. And many parents also come and tell me nowadays children don't take care of us. As we age, they put you on old age, they put on that, they don't give us respect. It is simple. Just flip your life when the child actually needed you. Did you have a maid to take care of your child? So obviously, when you age, they are going to give you a maid when you really needed them. This is the real truth. It can hurt a lot of parents. It can hurt a lot of people when I tell this truth, but that is the truth. The cycle won't run away. So what happens here is the mode of now, ma'am, the other thing is what you got to understand is that slightly the mode of communication also has changed. It's not completely the parents' fault or the children's fault. The medium of communication, long time ago, you talk on the phone, right? Now it's mobile. Now it's moved to WhatsApp. Now slowly it's going to be video calling only. No WhatsApp. Everyone wants. Now it's like audio messages only. You give audio, people don't know type also. So when kids are changing towards this new way of communication, it is the responsibility of the parents to also update themselves to that mode of communication, because that is the best way to communicate with them. You are on the mobile phones at that time, but now children are on WhatsApp. If you don't update yourself to their mode of communication, they will bring this generation gap and do whatever. I know so many parents who tell me, I don't understand Facebook, right? I don't understand social media. I'm telling you, their children are all in big threats, and big social gangs are after those kids also. If the parents are not there where the kids are, chances are they will be misdirected by various other people with time. So, ma'am, what you have to do is you start giving time to your children's. I'm guaranteeing, which I believe, the children's will come back to you. A hug is more powerful than any mobile device or an electronic device, right? When you come from work, give them a hug. When you start giving that hug every day, one day you don't give that hug, they will throw the mobile and come and give you a hug. But the values is what we have to give them, and slowly start building up that concepts, and slowly start building up within your child so they value it. The point is that at a very early age after marriage, you're so driven of making money, making life, making career, making that money, buying that great. Now in Kerala, the biggest problem in this whole world is everyone should have their own home. I feel so bad. People struggling to make a home. I really don't know why people do it. Just to show off in front of people. Right? When I got married, everyone was pushing me to get a home. I was like, I'm living in Abu Dhabi in a rented home. I'm happy doing what I'm doing. I don't want to prove anyone with a home. I can build a big home and say that, oh, what? People will say, oh, big home. Just for that, we build up home. What parents are doing right now is that they go after the trend. When they go after the trend, you tend to build up a lot of pressure onto you. And when you build up a lot of pressure onto you, you won't have time to give for your children. And when you don't have time for your children is going to find various other ways to get entertainment. And you can't blame them also. Right? So that circle has to stop. I know many mothers who watch TV serials from 6 to 9. So when they are watching TV serials from 6 to 9, kids are going to be on social media from 6 to 9. Both are having their entertainment. But as when time comes, parents grow old, they are no more interested in that. Interest in the TV serials. When they grow old, they think more practically, more wisdom-wise. That time they will look to the child. The child is into the flow of social media for the last 6-7 years. How can you expect the kid to come back to that old child which you expect, where when you were in that good energy, you never utilized their good energy, you wasted on TV. And now when they have their good energy, they would actually repeat the same thing back into your life, giving you the same lesson. If you would have given me the time when I needed you, when you needed me, I will always be there for you. Got it? Clear? Okay.
Okay. So it's also in our teacher-student relationship also, there is a gap.
Yes. So why teachers and relationship there is a gap? See, for me, ma'am, what I do is, where the problem is, I will tell them that the problem is, right? Sometimes what happens is that the main gap between a child and teachers, what I have seen, I've done a session completely for teachers also, right? There was a thing where, after giving the session, the principal said, can you do a similar session for teachers? And I did it for, that's the video I shared on my social media today, which says Deek Parassini versus teachers, right? Teachers, what happens is that why that gap is building, from my knowledge right now, approximately 60% of the teachers are doing teaching job because they don't have any other job to do.
Yes, correct.
There you go. That's the answer. Because they don't have any job to do, teaching is the best way to get some income. So they just go just because of the money-making concept. And if you're a teacher with a money-making concept, you are not a teacher. You are just doing a professional job. And if you're doing a professional job, you can't give your true essence of being that teacher to your student. And when you can't do that, you go for various other means of getting through with life. Obviously, that time the kid would put a gap. Okay. Now, why teachers gap is happening? The other reason, what I've understood, that's one reason. 60% of teachers are not true, genuine teachers. And when they're not true, genuine teachers, students can't connect. The second reason, the second reason, what happens is when teachers are there, when the teachers are correcting the students, nowadays parents support the children and not the teacher. Right? The trend has changed. It's my son. How dare the teacher correct my son? I have this thing for my son. How dare the teacher shout at my son? You go back to your teacher and tell this is what I told. So parents tend to give a lot of unnecessary power because they love their child, because they value their child, because they give extra. I'm the only one son, right? How mad? So technically, they support children's for staying on the wrong side. The best example Indian mothers do, I'll tell you. When children's fall, right? I'll tell you the after effect. Have you noticed when you're driving a car or bike, when someone crosses the road, it is their mistake. They will still shout at you. Have you noticed that, ma'am?
Yes.
Even though it is their mistake, they will shout at you. You know why that actually happens? If you rewind the life, once upon a time, a child was walking. He hits against the wall and he falls down. The child knows that it is his mistake due to which he has hit the wall and fell down. What the mother will say, oh, the wall hit you, I will hit the wall. Right? So this is a typical growth age which you are giving to a child. So if you do any mistake, go hit the mistake. If you go do something wrong, go and do something. Rather than saying, child, you did a mistake, walk properly next time, mothers will say, no, beta, I'll hit the wall. Next time hit. If the hit you, hit you. So what happens slowly, the kids build up in that attitude. See, that is the beauty of life. No one goes in so much of details. When you go into details about life, it is very beautiful. If you tell me why a child is like this, there's a big story. If you rewind from his birth till today, that solution is also there. But we go on making mistakes. Right? For example, right? I'm just talking about children's relationship because I think ma'am was driving more around that. Even though her question is coming that way, it's revolving around the children's thing. The other reason why these things happened is like, for example, telling lies. You always tell a child, beta, don't tell lies. Right? That's the traditional thing. Never tell lies in your life. It is not good. Please don't tell your lies. But my question here is that when you are home and one of the auntie calls, that same son, you will say, beta, tell I'm not in the home. Right? So there you're teaching the kid to lie. So what we are doing is you want your kids to be truthful, but then when your situation comes, you tell them how to teach lie also. Your home, you will call and tell your mama or your uncle, auntie that you are not home. For example, your boss is shouting at you. What would you see? My boss is very crazy. He's always shouting at me. I also used to shout back. So what the kid is learning, when a boss shouts, you also shout back. Teacher shouts, I will also shout back. So what is happening here is there is mistake from both sides. But if a genuine teacher comes in front of the child, every child will open up their guard. Because each child, the teacher sees it in a different way. Because, for example, I know sometimes teachers, when I do the teacher discussion, sir, how do you manage backbenchers? This is one of the standard questions some teachers ask me. Then they're in trouble, right? When you differentiate children as backbenchers, you have lost the essence of being a good teacher. Every teacher has, the role of every teacher is that I respect every children on whichever form, whatever experiences they have, due to which those parents have become, the children have become that. My job is how do I give him a life? Some children need a hug. Some children need one tap. The children will perform. Some children need a mother. If you can take the form of a mother for the child will, that gap will be closed. Some children need a friend. Some children need a teacher. Some people needs a strict disciplinarian. So each student, when you give in a classroom, each one student needs one commitment to your role. If you start giving that each commitment to each of that role, I'm telling you, everyone will listen to you 100%, and you will be the most favorite teacher for them also. But the point is, do we go to that level? For me, what I do, I'm not into the teaching side of things, but in a similar side, I give my number to everyone. Whoever has a problem, message me. Do teachers do that? No. I have my job. I'm getting paid for my salary. My job is done. When you start seeing from a job's point of view, it is no more teacher's job. You're just doing a job like every office job which you're doing. You have a syllabus to complete. I'm completing the syllabus. Right? When was the first time you ever stood for the children? When was the first time when I saw something good the child was doing? When did I stand for them? When you start standing for them, when you start talking their language, when you start WhatsApping me and not phoning them, slowly, the guards will start opening up, the gaps will start opening up, and then they will start being that person. But sometimes you have to take different roles. And the other thing is, sometimes the role can be temporary, right? You need to give them maybe for 2-3 months, you need to take a mother's role. Give that mother's role, build that trust, and boom, the kid will change. Sometimes be very strict, be very rude so that he builds up that strength to fight against you, and then leave him to fight. So there's many ways to remove that gap. But if you are that 60 to 70% of teachers who don't really love teaching and getting into it, the future of that kids are gone anyway. So it doesn't add value. So that is one of the main reasons why that gap is happening. And these are the few reasons which I think you got the answer which you're looking for from one of them.
Okay, sir. Nowadays, there is no passion behind the teaching process.
Yes.
I think so.
Yes, ma'am. The passion is gone because everyone is after the salary which comes with that.
Yeah, correct.
What I tell people, what is the definition of passion? Passion is something you're going to do for the rest of your life because you love doing it and you keep doing it if you get paid or if you don't get paid. That is the definition of passion. If you're looking at profession, then you get paid. If you look at passion, if I get paid or don't get, like I do all my sessions free of charge. As long as people call me, I'll fly from Abu Dhabi and do the session and go back. My objective is to share my message and go on with it. I don't expect anything in return. That's it. Right? So that is what, now when people ask me what is passion, this is passion. Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to spend money to spread the message for one person or for that one kid who's going to suicide tomorrow? They listen to that message and save that life. That is more important for me rather than how much I'm spending to reach to that kid or that audience.
Correct.
Yes, ma'am. Any other questions? I'll go on talking as long as the questions come or as long as Karthik says stop. Maximum I've talked to 3 hours to 5 hours, so I don't mind talking until the questions come.
Sir, then what about the education policy?
What about the education policy?
Yeah.
So what about it, ma'am? The new one, new policy?
Yeah, new one. Is it make any change in these problems?
Ma'am, I will tell you something. The government can change a lot of things, right? The government can change the education. For me, I've done Indian education, I've done US, I've done UK, right? I've done my BSc from a US university. I've done my MSc in business psychology from a UK university. I've done my MBA from BIT, Birla Institute of Technology. That's my education. What I believe is that Indian education, the new thing is also revolving around the same thing at the end of the day. But for me, what I believe is that Indian education is designed as one of the best designed education ever. I'll tell you why. Many people, before this new policy came, everyone is saying that Indian education is crap. Yes, it needs few updates. I think the updates are being done right now. But my objective is very simple. The problem with Indian education is not the problem with the education. The problem with Indian education is parents involving in the education, which is the problem for Indian education. The beauty of Indian education is that kids ask me this question, sir, why do you have to study everything? Right? And people justify saying that how can, fish, I love the examples which people give to justify stuff. How can fish climb a tree? It's for monkeys. How do, they are made for water? How do you justify that? So I am a student who likes only one subject. Why don't I keep learning that? That's one of the general questions which I get when I do it. I give a simple answer. Indian education is so good that it teaches you everything, so you have the wisdom to select what you're good at. So what happens in the Indian education? You're being taught everything, so you have the wisdom. I know everything, and from that everything, I know what is best for me. And that is how it goes. In 10th, you choose your stream. After studying everything, do you want science or commerce? After taking science, you want to go engineering, or you want to go doctor, or you like bio, then doctor. If you like physics, then engineering. You study everything again. In engineering, you study the basics again, then you go masters in engineering. It is such a beautiful process, which means the other thing what people don't understand is people tell me this also. Why is there, everyone talking about Indian education? Google CEO, Indian education. Microsoft CEO, Indian education. All the big guys who are sitting in the big shots are all that same Indian education at the background. But the funniest part is now they are saying against Indian education because they know that Indian education skill is so very powerful. The only way to destroy India is to destroy Indian education. That's what the British did a long time ago, and it's going to repeat again if people don't have put that sense. I never saw Dr. Abdul Kalam saying that Indian education is crap. Right? I always heard him listen, study, educate yourself, learn. That's what he said. But obviously Google will say, guy will say Indian education is crap. Why he's saying that is because he can sell more products into the Indian business, so that the more the people get lazy, the more the Google makes money. Right? So this is the real truth, and that is the concept behind it. But for me, that is what Indian education is. You learn everything, so you have the wisdom to reject what is not good for me and to take in what is good for me. The other thing what Indian education teaches also is that it doesn't tell you have to get 70 marks to pass. It teaches you the concept of I'm willing to take any challenges and I will pass through that regardless of whatever the challenge is. That is why Indians are always afloat. They will never completely struggle. They'll somehow figure out a solution because they learn to pass in life. When they learn to pass in life, that is all from the Indian education only. You're seeing failures. You're growing from that failure. You're figuring out why do Indian people always figure out a solution? That is the beautiful Indian education. They figure out somehow how do I pass. So that is the strength which the education is giving them. And half of the people are saying it is wrong. It's not the right thing. Right? So let the policies change. Let the Indian education change. But my question to everyone is, are you a good student? If you're a good student, whatever the education is, whatever the teacher is, whatever the country is, if you are a good student, you can be whatever you want. The best example is Abraham Lincoln, right? Abraham Lincoln literally borrowed books from the library, sat underneath the street light and studied, became the prime minister. Sorry, the president of USA. So are you a good student? People ask me, do you have to go foreign and study? Do I have to leave India and study? Are you a good student? In the city itself, you can make a difference. Did I answer the question?
Yes, sir. Yes. Sir, one more thing.
Sir, now we...
Yes, Karthik?
Yeah, ma'am. Continue.
usually people are expecting more or at least something from others. Why?
Because whenever they're doing with an expectation return. I will be a good mother so that my children will take care of me in future. I will give my kids good education so my children will do well in their future. My job is I will be the best mother which I can. If he loves me in future or if he don't love me in future, I am going to be the best wife I can. My husband recognizes it or doesn't recognize it. I am going to be the best daughter I can. Let my mother tell anything wrong to me. I am going to be the best daughter I can. I am going to be the best teacher I can. Let the students say bad about me or they shout at me. I am going to go back as the best teacher I can. There is no expectation. You control the world. That's what. For me, I do all my sessions free of charge. I don't expect anything. Can someone control me? No. Can someone blame me? My session was bad? No. I'm not taking any charges. I can do anything in the session. Right? So when we stop expecting from people, you will start thinking logically. Always tell people, do whatever you love doing and keep doing it, but never expect anything in return. Because when you expect something in return, that is when emotions start stepping into your life. Right? So as I told before to Swati also, when you leave this world, God will only ask you one question. Were you a good daughter? Were you a good teacher? Were you a good mother? Were you a good girl? If your answer is yes, you will go and reach wherever God wants you to reach, or universal life. But at that time, God won't ask you how your husband was, how your mother was. He will not. Is not. I have given you this birth to grow, to improve, and to be the best person who you can be. If you are focused on that, I'm happy with your contribution to this world. I don't expect from God also. That's what I tell people. Right? People expect from God. People pray, right? I need this, I need that, I need this. But the funniest part is, God is never going to give you anything which is going to create a problem. Sometimes they give you that also to teach you a lesson. Some people say, God, I want this great home. God knows after you build the home, financial crisis is going to come. No, God, I want home. You do prayers, I want home, I want to do that. Home. You build up the home. After building up the home, they'll say, oh, yeah, big mistake. Why I build this home? No one to clean. I have to do all the cleaning. Double job I got now. Already I was living a great life. Children are separated in different rooms. Children will have one room upstairs, one room. Then slowly, fear will start building. Husband will go working somewhere. Wife again gets alone. Or mother and kids build up fear. They go and watch horror movies again. Again builds up fear. This big new house is just building up fear with time. Right? That's what I normally tell to people who really pushes. In Kerala, it's a trend. Buy a plot, buy a home. Then you are settled in life. I was like, you're only making the contractors and the bank rich. That is it. If this is understood by the youth, most of the problems are solved in finance. The parents, after marriage, who is going to get married in future, I'm sure Girija ma'am also would have been pushed. But whoever is married and getting married, first push will be home. Don't take that home. Make that money. Live that relaxed life. When you decide where you want to settle, only then get a home. Because many people build up home and they're stuck in that city. Many people split families just because that they're stuck with that home. So make sure you don't make that mistake. Right? No. At the end of the day, you have two choices. Either live for yourself or live for the world. 90% of the people are living for the world. Only 10% are living for themselves.
Correct. Then the last one, sir. What is the exact meaning of life?
Exact meaning of life. My simple definition for life is the time given for you from birth to death. The meaning of life is time given for you from birth to death. And your purpose or objective of life is to keep growing every day. If you compare yourself from yesterday to today, am I being a better mother? If I compare from yesterday to today, am I being a better teacher? If I compare from yesterday to today, am I being a better wife? Yesterday to today, am I being a better daughter? If you start working on that and keep improving on that, and the 5 aspects, which I said, relationship, education, health, finance, and love, am I improving that every day? Everyone talking to me is successful in life. Don't compare your success with certain finance level or certain health level or certain education level. The true essence is when you have these 5 things in balance and you keep growing in. Never think that my growth is done. Everyone have a chance to improve, or else if you are done with 5 balancing of life, God will take you from this world, right? And it's not very soon, right? So what you need to do is that to figure out that side of things, balance it. Slowly, when you start working on balancing it out, everything else will fall in its place. But first, relationship, then education, then health, then finance. The beauty of life is every solution you have to go through the same process. A problem comes into my life, first relationship. My husband, my children, my parents are okay with it. Do they pray for me going forward to fix this thing, or do they reject me? Next thing is, do I have the health to know? Do I have the wisdom or knowledge to fix the problem? Do I have the help to fix the problem? Then do I have the money to fix the problem? If you go in this order, most other order. And I'll tell you something. If your relationship is fixed, everything will fix automatically, right? But then wisdom is your part of things. So you have to keep studying. Many teachers or many students or many people, after get their first job, they stop studying. The day you stop studying is the day you stop growing. If this point is understood, most of the life. And understanding about growth is all these 5. You need to read about relationship. You need to read about health. You need to read about finance. You need to read about, what's the other thing? Education, relationship, whatever, the 4 main aspects. And then whichever God you believe in, or your family gods, or whatever your religious scriptures are, read it. That is the loving of yourself, loving of the gods who you believe in, if you believe, or universe, or whatever you call it. When these 5 things comes in balance and everything goes in this order, even God is 5th. First, relationship, education, health, finance, and then love God, and then balance.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for your inspiring words and direction.
All thanks to God. Any other questions?
Nothing, sir. But before closing our session, just we give a chance for the audience, once the viewers who wants to ask any kind of
question. You want to, viewers who wants to ask, guys, we are back again. Karthik has given the permission. So this is question from Payal. What should I do when someone pressures me indirectly? Now, I really don't know. The question is not full also, but I really don't have the complete question, Payal. But I can't tell no. Okay. So the question here is that what to do when someone is pressurizing me indirectly, but I can't say no. Why you can't say no is because you want to look good in front of that person. Full stop. You can't say no because of only one reason: you want to look good. If you want to look good, then obviously people are going to misuse you with time. So make sure, stop being nice with everyone. You can't be nice with everyone because people are only going to misuse you with time. So learn to say no. There are different ways you can say no. One is saying that you're busy. One is saying the truth that, why you're actually busy and you can't take over it. There's various other ways. Stop being nice. You will learn to say no. It's as simple as that, right? Next question. Yes, sir, I'm a student. I plan my timetable with a full of perfection, but fail to that practice. I'm a person who believes that you need only have a timetable of what time to wake up and what time to sleep. Every other thing should be revolving around projects and what I'm going to complete during that day. I will only complete it and then go to sleep. If that is the objective you have, and keep doing the most important thing first, and keep doing that important thing until you go to sleep, you don't need a timetable because you know what is important for you than anyone else, right? That's that question. Good evening, Mr. Sugandhi. Good evening. I think he's one of the teachers here. Okay. She sent it. Okay, so that's just a good evening from there. What's the next question? Nitya, if somebody insults me, I don't know how to give them back. Because of that, I start crying. Please give me some tips to talk smart way and control your emotions. If someone, this is problem is self-respect. If people insult you, like as a kid, the simple thing, if someone calls you a dog, do you become a dog? No. It is just a self-respect you have as human being. When someone calls you a dog, you have this issue. Simple question. If a mental guy comes and calls you a dog, what do you respond? You feel insulted or you feel good about it? So what you got to understand is the world will say whatever they want at the end of the day. Your point is to stop, relax and smile and move on. Let the dogs bark. You are sitting on top of the elephant. And as long as you're sitting on top of the elephant, go on. But when someone insults you, don't suppress it. Many people, I'm cool with it, but they suppress inside. That will create other problems that might generally lead to anger and around that things. So make sure you don't do that. I'm just giving a quick summary. I really don't know whoever is online. So Sudhakar, but unfortunately, Indian Institute expects overseas qualification to work in higher educational institutions. It is just your point of view, right? I don't think Dr. Abdul Kalam did any education in the foreign. I don't think did Abdul Kalam go foreign? I don't think so, right? I don't think so to my knowledge. Maybe yes, maybe no. I really don't know his history. But I think he was completely all Indian and he had become the president of India and he has done wonders to the world. So it is just a point of view. My simple question to everyone. If you can solve a problem, people will pay you. Make sure you know to solve the biggest problem so people can pay you the biggest salary which you're looking for. If that is your focus, everything is positive, right? How to control fear career pressure. Fear career pressure. It's very random words you have put, but in simple answer I can tell you is that fear is something because you have limited knowledge about something that builds up fear. Career pressure is when you don't have a proper plan for a career, you tend to build up pressure. I hope I have answered that question. That's it. That's all YouTube question. No questions from Facebook. Instagram, do you follow spirituality? What's your view on it? I normally try my best to not talk about spirituality because it can get confusing because different people have different spiritual beliefs. Different people have different religious concepts behind it. So if I'm talking about spirituality, I will only talk to a certain type of people so that it doesn't confuse the other set of type of people. But my concept of spirituality, to make it very simple, for every practical aspect, there is a spiritual aspect going on. If I move my hand, there is an energy being created. That is the spiritual side of things. It is much more easier to use practicality to solve your problem rather than, so for example, if a child is actually lost his direction or child don't know what to do, it is easier for a mother to go and talk to the child and be a mother's role and help that child to do well rather than trying out spirituality to do a shortcut to get your child get through. Many people try out the shortcut to spirituality. Yes, there is truth in spirituality, provided you take it from the right side of things. But at the end of the day, true spirituality is when you live your life in the right possible way, what is meant for you. And when you balance each of this role which you have given to you by that spiritual thing which have brought you into this world, which can be anything. When you are born, be the best child, be the best student, be the best father, be the best mother. You are living a spiritual life. Right? So when I'm doing my sessions, I'm meditating now because I'm purely talking from my heart. What is spirituality? At the end of the day, using your mind to understand what your heart is all about. When you understand what your heart wants to do, and when you start doing what your heart wants to do, everyone is moving towards spirituality. Right? I hope I've answered that question. That was just popped up from nowhere. I normally don't keep myself best out of spirituality. But then people have questions. People ask questions from scriptures to me also. but then I keep myself out of it because it can be confusing for the other spiritual things and all that. That's it. Okay, Sudhakar have asked a counter question. Which unites people of India? It's the language or religion? Does Hindi unite Indians? Guys, at the end of the day, if you can connect to the person from heart to heart, you don't need language, you don't need religion. Humanity always connected people. If it is humanity which your focus is on, that supersedes everything at the end of the day. Be the best human you can and follow the language which you believe in, because that's what you believe in, and follow the religion which you believe in. Be the best Muslim, or be the best Hindu, or be the best Christian that you can be, which obviously talks about humanity at the end of the day. It's humanity which bonds people and not religion or language. You love your mother not because of a religion or language, right? Your family is united not because of a religion or a language. Your family is united because of that heart-to-heart connection. And if everyone has the heart-to-heart connection, all the unity will come with time. I hope I have answered that question, Sudhakar. And Nitya gave a feedback. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Karthik, for arranging this session. It was really useful. Anything else? Ask me any question. What I tell people is, ask me any question, clear all your doubts, and forget me. Right? Don't be thankful to me, thankful to whichever God you believe in, or whichever universe, or whatever you believe in. Okay, Nitya is asking further question. Basically, by helping other people, you really need help, which we reach. Okay, when you start helping people, make sure you don't get misused in the process. Many people go and help people and get misused in the process, which works against them. First thing is help yourself, stand on your own legs. When then people ask you for help, tell them how they have to stand on their own legs. That is true helping, rather than helping people with money, helping people with emotional support and mental support, financial support, home support, shelter support. That is all waste of time. Help yourself first, and then stand on your own legs, and then help other people to stand on their own legs. Never give a kid a fish. Teach the kid how to fish. That is true helping. And that is what I tell everyone. Whatever you have learned from me, make sure you share it to the world. In my name or your name. Doesn't make any difference. If you like any quote which I told today, put that quote in the status without any name, or put your name also. It doesn't make any difference. My objective is to share it, and from that point. Oh, William has just commented. He's a very senior of my school. Thanks a lot, William. It is a pleasure and good to get a feedback from you, right? I know William, he's my senior in my school time, right? So yeah. How to build up belief system. Explore, read, research, and counter question it, challenge it, come to your own conclusion, and that's how you believe a system. Many people, whatever system you have, you take it from your parents blindly. You take it from your family blindly. You take it from your teachers blindly. Stop taking stuffs blindly, because if you take information blindly, the world will start controlling you also, and then you get blind with time. So if you want to build up a system, you need to go search of it, research it, cross-question it, see if there is truth. And when the truth is understood, the belief system will be built automatically. I hope I have answered that question. That is it. I have done my job. Instagram have a lot of questions. Guys, Instagram, I don't want to take it. I'll go, oh my God, there's around 17 questions on Instagram. Karthik, do I continue, or you're tired of my talks?
No, sir, not like that. You continue, sir. You continue.
No, I don't know. I've got, as long as questions comes, I will keep it within the topic itself, right? Which is better, start up a job? I won't answer that. Message on WhatsApp, did not respond. I will respond, don't worry. Why is begging of every profession the hardest? Begging? I didn't understand that. Let me see all the happy Teachers Day to everyone and all the teachers. I believe that life is the greatest teacher. And if you start seeing that from that point of view, your son, your family, your mother, the children's, whoever you meet, good or bad, is teaching you something. So that's what you have to do. Exams issues, I don't want to talk. How can I tell you how to be a charismatic person? No. Okay, nothing is related to your topic. So that's it. My job is done.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Before closing this session, sir, like
Yeah.
while means I already said to you, like my journey with my MW starts from past 6 months. Like while I am naming that the title, and while I am naming that quotation, means the tagline with it, make your dreams real.
Yeah.
At that moment, I think like all of the students are all of the some kind of personalities have their own dream, but
Yeah.
when they approach to us, we want to give some kind of good positivity to fulfill their dreams.
Yeah.
That's the main reason the entire establishment of MW has been taken place.
Good. Nice.
And while coming to this session, sir, like I think at the initial stage while I am approaching you, just I make a small message to you. Like, sir, I want to make a small session with you. Can you give me a permission? Like,
Yeah.
while I am asking you a question, while I am asking you a request, you take it like a way, means like means some of the speakers think why I want to be a part of your journey. Like that, all of the personalities may think, but you were
Yeah.
quite different from them. That's the
All,
main reason why the person is like a such kind of a international motivator and international personality.
all thanks to God. See, the thing is, many people differentiate and consider me as a motivational speaker. I'm not a motivational speaker. I don't want to come into that league of things, first of all. My job is to give you the answers which you're looking for and forget me. That's all, right? My job is to give you the answers. And life is simple. I'm just trying to prove the world that how simple life is, right? It's not complicated at all. Now, whatever I told for the last 2 hours and 15 minutes, I didn't say anything complicated. I didn't say anything spiritual. All the answers are very simple. But then, so it's very easy to eat an apple a day. And everyone says that eating an apple every day keeps a doctor away. But how many eats an apple every day? No one eats. That's the beauty of life, right? It is simple, but then no one actually does that, right? No one actually eats that, but no one does. So that's the beauty of life. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. And before closing this session, sir, from my entire team of management wonders, I thank to you, sir, for being a part
Oh,
of our journey and make this session more effectively way.
all thanks to God. Keep spreading positivity. That's what I say. What you have done is a great job. I would like to thank everyone in your team too, to come forward and do this session. I'm dead sure many people would learn a lot from this. As I said, that whatever, spread it. That's my objective, right? That's my plan. So obviously, if you want future also like this session on specific topic, let me know. I would
Yeah,
actually love to, right?
yeah,
Right.
definitely, sir, 100%. And
Yeah.
if
So,
my team, did my team need to talk with sir? Anybody?
anyone wants to talk personally, also I can talk. It's your wish.
I just
I'm
want to talk.
okay. So, sorry,
I just want to talk.
you just want to talk personally or now?
No, now. I just want
Okay, now go
like
ahead.
I just want to tell her like this is really very effective session I've seen, because when Karthik called me and he said about all these and all, I was just like, we've went to so many sessions like this, and we heard so many sessions like this. All the thing there is, they used to tell to us, and we used to listen from this here, and we used to leave from here. But I thought we've seen so many sessions like this. Is this that effective to us and to everyone? I've just asked a question to him. He said, "Yeah, just listen. It will be very effective because I saw." He saw all your things, all your
live shows,
YouTube channels and everything and all. So, but now I've really realized that my thought was really bad or something else. This is like really good session, sir. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for this good session, inspiring and spreading positivity all the way. In the afternoon session also, I've told you that positivity is the only thing I saw in you. That positivity we need from anyone. So pleasure, so much of pleasure, sir. Pleasure talking with you and a pleasure hearing good words from you.
All thanks to God that, and thanks to Karthik for bringing you all on board. At the end of the day, each one is just an instrument to understand more about positivity. So I'm just doing my job, which I'm supposed to. Karthik did his job, and Swati did her job.
Yeah, and from
it is because you asked. It's because you asked me this question. I'm answering it. If you didn't ask, it won't happen, right? So it's all about we both. Everyone is learning from each other. Everyone is, at the end of the day, as I said, when the heart and heart connects, everything gets understood even without talking, right? So I hope it's good to know everyone liked the show, and that's it. My job is done for today. What I will do is I will just sign out from Instagram first, and then I will sign out from YouTube, and then we can have our group talk, right? Just give me 1 second. Instagram, thank you everyone. Tomorrow I'm doing a talk with Bhumi India, the Bhumi Foundation. I know most of you people would know about it. I really don't know if I'm going to come on Instagram, but I'm sure I'm going to come on YouTube and Facebook. I will update you on my stories. So that's all about how do you live life after COVID situation? How do you see it from a positive sense after the COVID has hit the world? It's more revolving around that conversation. It's going to be done on Zoom. I'm still asking permission if other people can be a part of that show, but for sure I'm going to come live on YouTube. But if I'm going to come on live on Instagram, I have doubts, because either I have to use my mobile or I have to use my camera to do a Zoom with them. So guys, let me just sign out. See you tomorrow. 99% for sure, either Facebook and Instagram, I will be there. So thank you everyone, and see you tomorrow. Let me sign out from Instagram. Download the video. Just give me 2 seconds and I'm done, guys, right? Okay, so YouTube and Facebook, YouTube. Thanks a lot, everyone. I hope you have learned a lot. Chaitra gives a good feedback. Great, thanks you all. Thanks to the Management Wonders team for being a part of the show, for coming. I would like special thanks to Girija ma'am for asking her teachers questions, Karthik to ask various of his youth questions. I really love the balance. There's things, different people of different age groups. So that's why it was quite entertaining in different levels. Thank you, everyone. So see you tomorrow on the Bhumi Run. They have organized a show. So hopefully I'll see you there tomorrow. Thank you. Just 1 second.